this demo is to show the full opportunity process of creating the bringing opportunity in the portal and then sending the agreements and receiving the agreements. So I'm going to start with a brand new property. So it's really the same process as creating KFB opportunities. So we choose the country, we do the zip code, and then give me 1 second. Let me just enter some test information. And then once we got the address validated, for this exercise, I'm using, again, test information. So once the lead is created, it's like, the existing process. We're going to enter the authorized decision maker, number of units. Let's say there's 2 buildings, number of properties. Let's say there's 100. Management company is still required. And then I'm going to create the property. Oh,
Hey,
okay.
Grace, just a quick call out. The Amazon in your email is with an M instead of an N.
That's why. Thank you. I'm like, why are the other information not populating? Okay. So I'm gonna click on create property. Okay, maybe. Okay, so it's in there. So you would see here on the top right button, you'd see send, bring in, CA, which stands for commercial agreement button. It's grayed out because we need to enter, like there's a note there that would say we have to mark at least 1 access point for ring in order for us to send the commercial agreement. So that's actually just one of the ways that we can ensure it's a control in place so that we can ensure that all the right information or all the required information is in the opportunity before we can send in an agreement. So for that purposes, you can add access point, edit access point in the same way that you would do a ring in, or rather a key for business opportunity. So once I go to the access point section, so I'm just going to click on add access point. So just some test information. We'd see the ring in icon. If you want the intercom, you have to check on the NFC panel. And you would see it in here, ring in NFC panel. Let's say I have 2 access point. It's also very important that we have the access point addresses in each of the entered in it accurately, because like if we have 1 community, 4 buildings, we want to make sure that the building numbers for those 4 buildings are reflected in the access point section, so that we go through the installation survey pretty smoothly and there's no back and forth or confusion as to where we need to install our access point. So again, I'm going to just name it access point 2. And then it's very important, we need to indicate ring in, because that's the product that we're selling. Say we're doing two 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 inter two intercom, click on save. You would see that as soon as we enter at least 1 ring in product, the send ring in commercial agreement button is activated, or it's in color blue. So once we send this, it would auto compute the pricing for you. So what we entered for this one is panel. So it's $9.99 the first one, $4.99 the second one. We have 2 access points, so it's $10 for each additional access point. And based on the number of units that we entered in the property details, it will auto compute the subscription pricing for the number of units. So in case you talk to the POC and then the POC changed their mind, all you need to do is, let's say the POC said, hey, I want I want them both. I don't want an intercom, I want a virtual key. So all you need to do is edit the opportunity and check the NFC panel box. And then as soon as you send press this button, it's going to recalculate for you based on the product that you've entered. So right now it's 399. I just heard the 99. So that's something that we have to manage outside of this process. If there's any, I would say if there's any virtual key sale based on the $99, just send me and JM a note and we'll edit, we'll edit it on the back end so that it reflects $99, if that makes sense. Are
It
we
does,
all
thank
good
you.
so far? Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think it's hot off the press. It was just like last Friday when the key was if it's already an existing, I just want to reiterate, if it's already an existing ring-in property, then it's 99. But if it's new, Dustin, is it still 399? Is
Yeah,
that correct?
so existing KFB properties, it's going to be 99. And then
Mm-hmm.
if it's not an existing KFB property, that's still at the 399.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, so
So,
we can edit that on the back end on our side.
mm-hmm.
And so yeah, it shouldn't be an issue. I think JM, you might be setting up a chime room or something like that specifically for those
Mm-hmm.
those
Yeah.
requests. So
Okay. And so, like what you guys saw earlier, when we had two intercom, it was computing for the intercom price. But since we edited the opportunity to key, it updated the activation fee based on the product. The subscription pricing for access a piece still remains the same. It's still $10 per additional unit. But you'd also notice that the subscription pricing is now based on key, the tiered pricing of key versus intercom. And then say the POC changed their mind once again, and they said, hey, I want one panel and one key. All you need to do is go back to the opportunity again, check that box. So you would see here panel and then key, send ring and pricing. It's gonna auto calculate for you. You
Can
see
I just
here.
ask a quick question, Grace?
Mhm.
If they're just getting the ring in panel, but they don't need an extra key, they're just gonna click the one box, right?
Correct.
Okay,
Correct.
just want to make sure.
Yep. So you'd see here, this is a combo opportunity, right? Like it's a combo product opportunity, and that's reflecting on that one. And when this is when the customer choose key and intercom, um, the pricing would follow the product, but in terms of tiered pricing, this would follow, when there's a key and intercom, the tiered pricing would be dependent on the tiered pricing of the intercom, if that makes sense. The more efficient or the more, the more the primary product that we're trying to sell. So anytime we got panel and key in one opportunity, POC unit pricing would follow that of the intercom because we can't charge, number of unit for the intercom and key, right? So we only follow one, which is the intercom. Do you guys follow so far?
Yes.
Okay. So now and then one thing that you'd also notice that it was live prior to the last deployment, there is like the way, aside from entering the product information, whatever you enter in the access point is gonna reflect on the ring in section. And so when the stage and the face would automatically update as you do actions behind the scenes. So like for example, if I click on send ring in agreement, it's gonna, ask you to confirm the pricing, the units, and all of that, assuming this is all okay. And then it's gonna ask you to to confirm the decision maker. It will ask you to verify the property address. Again, for each of the access points, if we have 4 buildings in the community, let's reflect the right building number for each of those access points. And then once you send in the send CA, send commercial agreement, what's gonna happen is, if it allows me to send, give me one sec. Okay, so what's gonna happen is you'd see here in the ring in section, um, the face is set to sale and then proposal. So what's gonna happen? What it would look like once the POC has signed. What it would look like in this section is that the agreement has been received and then it would show the agreement sent date and receive date, just like how we're doing for the key for business or key for business opportunity type. Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay. And so,
Grace, I
the
got one question. Is that, are you guys still wanting us to build those by property? So each individual one would have a commercial agreement tied to them? Or are we able to do bulk properties at this point?
it's gonna be one contract for one community, right? So if I have city A, then one contract for city A, and then if the other properties are in city Z, then we would want one opportunity, one contract for the separate community.
Okay.
Okay.
Josh, to your question, it's something that's been brought up internally multiple times, and we are working to find a solution for that, especially for like portfolio locations, so they don't need to sign like 100 contracts for 100 properties. But as it sits right now, yeah, it's one per property, and just know we're working on a solution for that use case as well.
Okay. I just noticed that once you went to go click send CA and then you
Mhm.
checkbox that thing, I think it looked similar to the KFB and CAP where you could add multiple properties to that. So I just want to make sure that, reps don't add additional properties to that last page.
Yeah, it should be super clear. It's one
Mm.
contract per property. So if they
Yeah.
have multiple properties, they need a contract for each one, because that's how the billing, activation fee, and subscription and everything is created after the install. But what I can say from a billing perspective, if a POC manages or owns multiple buildings, they'll only get one bill per
Billing.
month from a subscription standpoint. It's not like they have to pay 100 different bills. So that's combined in the back end on our end. But from a contract perspective, for now, they will need to sign multiple agreements.
And then just like, KF or key for business process, once the agreement has been received, the agreement is going to be attached to the opportunity. And then as a last step, and this is, I've in the 3 contracts that we've signed, the process still hasn't changed. So once the agreement is received, we still ask the opportunity owner or the salesperson to to send this email to the POC. This is what we consider a handoff email that covers TPV. We don't want anyone calling anymore. If they can confirm this via email, perfect, right? Like that's what we want, more efficient, right? And then confirm also the on-site POC, and then as well as the PMP and their availability. So once we really need the POC to send this handoff email so that the customer success team can take over and go through the steps of installation, from the survey, the availability, and all of that. And all of that would lead to the installation process. But we need this email to be sent because, like, we expect that the person who signed them, which for this case Access Pro, would have the relationship with the POC. And so we'd want to get the TPV and their availability and all of this stuff, be sent out already so that we can proceed to the next steps leading to the installation. So that's really all there is